It's November 13th today. We've had Lite here for probably close to a half hour now. We've been on deer, covered in deer. We've had an interesting morning to say the least. We walked past about a half dozen deer on the way in here. And we had a good buck pinned on a doe about 15 yards from the base of our tree this morning. They jumped up, kind of circled around, and walked off. As soon as I got Lite here, we had a pretty good buck locked on a doe out in the CRP. We're hoping it was the same one that we bumped up and not the one that we're in here for. But there's been a 6x6 in daylight walking right under this tree on the Tactacam the last 3 days. We tried hunting him 2 days ago and we got rained out. And we had 30 to 40 mile an hour winds yesterday. So we decided it wasn't safe to get in a tree. Sure enough, he walked past twice in the daylight. So we're here. We're going to sit all day. He's not the only shooter in here. He's just the one that's been walking past the camera. We got a hot doe in here. That's the good news. We'll sit tight and hopefully we'll get lucky. Should be a good day. Deaf. It's going on about 9 o'clock right now. We have been in deer since daylight. About 20 minutes ago, we had a buck that we call Swoops. We've only got one trail camera photo of him, probably a week ago, I would say. Anyway, he was cruising using the CRP on the other side of the creek, going towards the north. And as soon as we lost sight of them, we heard them lock up with another buck. They only fought for a couple seconds. And then, just a moment later, we catch the 6x6 coming back down the hill. They must have squared off. The 6x6, we threw a couple grunts at him, but he didn't even acknowledge it. I don't even think he heard it. Just kept going down along the CRP. We don't know where Swoops went. He's got to be somewhere up in this thick stuff to the north of us. But we've had several does and fawns, young bucks, across this creek right here on top of us. It's been crazy. JP and I have been on pins and needles with deer close. So the good news is both of the target bucks in here are on their feet, and neither of them were with does. So we're gonna sit tight, and could get interesting. Hey guys, welcome back to another First Light in the Field. Aaron and I are down in Iowa right now. It's the middle of November. Temperatures are starting to get pretty cold, as you can probably tell by my steam coming out of my mouth, but we're just getting geared up to head out for a hunt this morning. I just wanted to talk quick about the Furnace Long John top and bottom from First Light. Once the temperatures start cooling off like this is a go-to base layer that we're rocking when it's cold. If you haven't already, check out First Light. They've got killer base layers. What's nice about the Furnace is it packs a supercharged punch for layering system without having all that weight and bulk. It's made out of merino wool. It's like an athletic fit. It is extremely comfortable, and it's extremely warm, and it's pretty much our go-to from mid to late October all the way through the season. So we're going to finish getting dressed here and get in the stand. See him? Right down my finger. It's about 20 yards up into the grass. Yeah, that's definitely him. I got nothing. I don't even know what to say. Come off the hill over here out of the CRP. Crossed the creek right on the rock trail where we walked across. And then angled away from us. On this side of the tree I can't shoot. He probably came past at about 30. And then he angled away. Went through this tree line. Got on the backside. Our wind has been blowing that way all morning. Well, he comes out on the other side of the tree line and the wind's hitting us straight in the face. So I threw a snort wheeze at him, and he actually starts coming. Well, then he parallels us. Of course, then the wind switches, and he gets it over here. He didn't freak out, but he knew something was up. He kind of just went up into this drainage. Since then, we've had a few more does come past, but he's a good deer. I don't have any history with the deer on this farm, but I'd say it was definitely 5 plus. Just sucks you get that close. And you just cannot catch a break to seal the deal, but we've got him around, and the 6x6 has got to be somewhere around here. We had him cruise the CRP earlier this morning. But just been on pins and needles. We haven't even had time to have coffee or food or anything. We've just been covered. One of these days they're gonna do what you think they should do and just give you a chip shot, but so far it has not been today.
Right.
Got him, buddy. Down goes Fraser, baby. What a freaking roller coaster, baby. We're sitting here. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say. We're sitting here, we've just had a shitstorm of stuff go on all season. And today's been no different. We had Swoop get by us this morning. We saw this buck earlier this morning. All of a sudden I look up and he's coming right down the tree line. We've had that deer. This is the 4th day in a row. He's come past here between 10 and 2, and it's probably, right now it is 11:15. Like, he was on a pattern November 13th, and this deer was on a pattern. Like, every day he's just doing this loop. But anyway, he comes straight at us, and he crosses trail. I had to swing over to this side. He's at like 6 yards, and he turned severely, facing away from me. And when I grunted, just enough, and I shot him, drove it up into the off shoulder, and he's laying dead 50 yards from the tree. He is a dandy.
Here he is. Just got our hands on him. My 2021 Iowa archery buck. To say that we earned this guy would be a complete understatement. I think JP added the days up we spent in the field this fall. I think we're somewhere around 55 days right now. And we have just had terrible luck. And it's been a very trying season. My dad's been battling cancer, and we lost him about a week and a half ago now, and it's just been a struggle this year trying to focus in the woods, and just been praying for peace. And it's pretty special to shoot a buck of this caliber here this morning with JP, who's been grinding with me all fall. This one's for you, Dad. No doubt about it. He sent him right down this tree line, right in our lap this morning, and came under the tree. I had a tough shot angle, but hard quartered away, schwacker. I put it in right in front of his hind quarter and drove it up into the off shoulder, and he only went about 50 yards and piled up, and I could not be happier with this buck. Awesome hunt, one that I'll never forget. Pretty special.
All right, Nick and I just got set up. Got in here a little bit late. It's about 8 o'clock. It rained like really hard this morning, so we got up at like 4 and basically sat. And then it kept raining, looked at the radar, and then went back and took an hour nap, and then got up and started getting out here as the rain was starting to finish off. So it's the second day of gun season here in Missouri. We moved a little bit higher on this hill yesterday. I was filming my dad, and we were down towards the bottom of it, and they seemed to be favoring this ridge top a little bit more. I saw some chasing going up here too, so we moved up this ridge, and yeah, now we're just in it for the long haul. It's supposed to be a little windy this afternoon, but we're gonna sit till dark and give her hell.
I think he's a shooter, isn't he? Yeah, he's definitely a shooter. I think so. I mean, use your judgment.
Got him. Nailed him.
Yeah, baby.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah,
Give me
baby.
some. Give me some.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I don't even know what just happened. Like, this doe comes running across the ridge, and then there's this buck just chasing him behind it, and then Nate was swinging, and I'm facing uphill, and he's trying to basically shoot kind of like around the tree, and we're sitting on a pretty big tree, and he couldn't get he basically couldn't get turned around and he was about ready to jump back over the hill. Nate said, "Hey, just take the gun, give me the camera." And so we did a little flip-flop. First, he just handed me the gun. I was able to get on him, but he was in some thick stuff. It was so hard to find him in the scope in that thick stuff, and he just wasn't moving. But he's down right there, though, buddy. He's freaking down. Oh. Oh, dude. Hell yeah. All right, it is November 14th, Sunday of opening weekend of rifle season here in Missouri. As you can see, we had some success, and man, it was a whirlwind of a weekend, really. Nate ended up going yesterday. I couldn't go opening day, and drove out this morning, got up at 2:30 and made it in the tree. We had some rain, so we actually didn't make it and get set up until about 7:30 because we were wanting to hang and hunt. So we basically hung the stand kind of close to where we saw those two shooters earlier this week, and yeah, we actually had a younger buck bed down 60 yards in front of us, so that was pretty cool. And then we actually had some does bed down too, so they were moving today for sure. And I was actually behind the camera, and basically this guy came like directly behind us over the ridge, chasing 2 or 3 does, and Nate was trying to get turned around, and the tree that we were sitting on was actually really big, and he literally couldn't reach around the tree with his gun enough to get on him. So Nate did the selfless thing and just said, "Hey, Nick, if you got a shot at him, go ahead and take it." So he gave me the gun. I swung the camera over to him, and yeah, the rest is history.